to Let's Chat, the Tennessee Valley's premier show focusing on lifestyle and entertainment with Jess Raby and Chip Chapman, bringing you smart shopping tips, community events, and the newest trends. Now, let's chat.
It has been a long week. It has been a wet week, obviously, and we made it to Friday. It is October 30th. Can't wait for the big weekend coming up. Can't wait for the big football game coming up against the Tennessee Titans and the Cincinnati Bengals. Our friend Mike Keith, the voice of the Titans, joining us again. Mike, good morning.
Good morning, Chip.
Hey, look, we're going to talk a lot about the Titans-Cincinnati game. I just got to ask you to give the Titans a big, big word of congratulations. Their comeback skills, even though they dropped the game last week against another undefeated team, phenomenal. Second half forward, the Titans were on absolute fire.
They did a good job. And not totally surprising that you would see the Titans, a veteran club, grown-up team, players who can make adjustments, a coaching staff that can make adjustments, come back against what is the last undefeated team in the NFL, the Pittsburgh Steelers. The disappointment, however, how they played the first 35 minutes, not a disappointment how they played the last 25 minutes. This weekend in Cincinnati, got to get off to a better start.
See, Tannehill is a guy like you would consider your older brother, and Ben Roethlisberger's like your dirty old uncle. I mean, he's just Roethlisberger. He's going to be the subject of another conversation. We're going to shift right over into Ryan Tannehill and the rest of the Titans. Going up against Cincinnati, of course, even though the Bengals are 1-5 and the Titans are 5-1, you guys never take a victory for granted.
Never, especially when you have the Heisman Trophy winner playing quarterback for the Cincinnati Bengals. Joe Burrow is on the verge of several NFL records for rookie quarterbacks. He has been phenomenal. Last week against Cleveland, he threw for 406 yards and 3 touchdowns, and he ran for a touchdown. That's the first time in NFL history that a rookie has thrown for over 403 scores and also run for a score. And he's got players like T. Higgins, another rookie from Clemson who's a great receiver, A.J. Green, a great receiver out of Georgia, Tyler Boyd, who's been an outstanding receiver. They have weapons. They're scoring points. Chip, the Cincinnati Bengals are going to win games down the stretch. We're hoping they just don't start this weekend.
I think the entire NFL has got a hit list out on Derrick Henry. They're doing their best to keep his carrying and his rushing down to an absolute minimum. Is this going to be able to enable, if you will, Tannehill to make other alternatives or better be able to exploit the Bengals' rushing defense? I mean, what is your take on that?
The Bengals' rushing defense has been suspect this year. They are certainly going to gear up to stop Derrick. We still want to run Derrick, but what it does set up is play action. And if they put 8 guys in the box and they are dead set on stopping 22, then we are in a position where we can fake the handoff and get guys open down the field. The two things build on each other, and that's what the Titans will hope to utilize at Paul Brown Stadium on Sunday.
What are the other 2 or 3 Mike Keith's keys to the game to make sure the Titans walk away or run away with a victory this weekend?
It's coming down to pressure for me. The Titans haven't had enough pressure sacking the opposing quarterback. Joe Burrow has been sacked 28 times this year in 7 games. The Titans need to get those sack numbers up starting this weekend. The other thing is spot tackling is a big deal in this game. Burrow throws the ball all over the place.
Right.
They swing it out of the backfield. They throw to the flat. They throw to the middle. They pitch it. They're all over the place. They use their speed, their athleticism. When you're in the open field, when you're in open spaces, you got to knock them down. You got to make the tackle. You got to spot tackle. That's what the Titans need to do. I also think the Titans need more sort of overall performance from their tight ends in this game. The tight ends are a big factor in this offense. They only had 3 catches for 16 yards last week against the Steelers. When this offense is rolling, Jonnu Smith, Anthony Ferkser, Michael Pruitt, Jeff Swaim, they're all involved in the offense. They need to be involved Sunday at Cincinnati.
If this weekend's game against Cincinnati comes down to a field goal, what's the confidence level in Gostkowski?
I think the confidence level is high. That's a thing for the Titans right now that you certainly ask about. A lot of people asking about, and Gostkowski has missed 2 kicks wide in each of the last 2 weeks. Wide right, I should say. That's a trend that worries you. But, you know, you've got a guy who's one of the all-time great kickers in NFL history. You've got to have confidence in him. One thing to watch in this game, Chip, Paul Brown Stadium, because it is right on the banks of the Ohio River, often very windy. When we played up there 12 years ago,
Right.
winds sustained up to 70 miles an hour.
Yikes.
It'll be like that Sunday, but you could have sustained winds of 25 miles an hour. So that's often a big factor in the kicking game at Cincinnati, the wind.
The voice of the Tennessee Titans and soon to be inducted into the Tennessee Radio Hall of Fame. Stick around. We are back with more of Let's Chat right after this.